What's up, everybody? This is Takeastepandimonmyway from Tumblr here, bringing you guys a discussion you guys have been waiting for. Amourshipping, then and now. I've been teasing this for so long, and it's finally here. Glad that I'm bringing this to you guys, and today with me to help me out with the discussion is...
Hey guys, DjSockPuppet here.
What's going on, everybody? This is Alpha Eevee.
And we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
Hello, this is Purim, also from Tumblr.
And let's get started, because I know you guys have been waiting for this discussion for a while, so let's get on to it. So today we're going to be talking about Amourshipping. The title says itself, then and now, self-explanatory. So we're going to talk about how Amourshipping has evolved from the beginning to the end of X and Y, which is episode 90, I assume.
93.
93, yes, 93. Yeah, because Bulbapedia got the episode titles wrong, so I'm just going to say 93. Okay, so let's get started. So, Prim is going to give you guys a synopsis. If you guys are new to this channel, she's going to give you a brief synopsis of what Amourshipping is and how, just what it is. So, Prim, if you please.
Amourshipping is a fictional pairing between Ash Ketchum of the Pokemon anime and Serena, also of the Pokemon anime. The ship got its start in late 2013 when promotional materials began to surface regarding the upcoming Pokemonsters X and Y series. These promotional materials showed that Serena was a childhood friend of Ash Ketchum's, which is something that was unprecedented in the show because we've been following Ash's adventures since 1997, and in 2013 we are being shown a childhood friend of his who knew him before even Pikachu had met Ash. The ship got its proper start in XY Episode 2, which debuted in Japan about a week after the Pokemon X and Pokemon Y version video games came out, in which Serena recognized Ash jumping off of the Prism Tower, Prism Tower in Lumio City, recognizing him as a boy from her childhood.
So, before we, I'm sorry. Before we continue, I just want to ask for your thoughts on this, Edgar and DJ. Like, what were your reactions to this when, we actually got that flashback of, Serena reminding Ash that she was a childhood friend of his when you first saw this episode?
I mean, for me, like I was kind of weird with how I started with the XY series. I saw things like weird kind of orders. So when that happened, when all that was revealed, like I kind of already knew what was going on. So I guess you could say I wasn't that surprised. So.
What about you, Edgar?
Yeah, I guess I felt the same way as DJ has because even before the X and Y series started, I believe we got some scans regarding the upcoming series saying that Serena was a childhood friend of Ash's. So, by the time the first two episodes came out on the same day, I already get the idea that Serena knows Ash. And, of course, in episode one, he didn't recognize him. Well, you could say that he does remember him, but he just hasn't seen him in a long time. But by the time we got to episode 2, and when he got to recognize Ash, I wasn't really surprised like DJ. Yeah, because I already knew that Serena knows Ash, since back in childhood. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were surprised that Ash, because this is probably the second flashback that we got of Ash's childhood. So it was very surprising to see the second flashback being used as Serena reminding Ash that she was a childhood friend of his. So my only my thoughts on that when I first saw the episode was like, all right, these two are gonna get together. Like I already ship them already. Like that was my first thing to like, no way they could put a flashback in this episode and not expect the audience to ship these two because there's obviously some sort of connection between these two characters. Obviously, it was shown when Ash helped Serena out in that forest when she hurt her knee. So, Prim, if you want to continue on.
Well, Serena meets Ash back in Santalune City when he's challenging for his gym. She reminds him of a phrase that he shared with her in their childhood when they first met. Never give up until the end, or don't give up till it's over in the English dub. Using these words to re-inspire Ash, he wins the bug badge from Viola. At this point, Ash asks Serena to join him on his journey through Kalos to get the gym badges. Ash asking Serena is actually something that's never happened before as far as female protagonists on the show have gone. They've all either followed behind Ash or have, in some other way, blackmailed him into allowing themselves to join on his adventure.
Yeah.
The early parts of the XY series are mostly characterized by, as far as Amourshipping goes, showing that Serena has feelings for Ash, such as in XY13, but mostly focused more on establishing the Kalos region as a whole. We see Pokemon groomers and the Battle Chateau and other things that are in the games. Uh, the next really major Amourshipping moment doesn't come until XY26, when Serena's rival Miette, or Millifui in Japan, debuts.
Now that was very surprising to the viewers. I mean, this is probably the first time ever where a rivalry between two girls fighting over Ash. I mean, I think that's happened before in Pokemon 2000, but like actually happening in the series itself. So, a lot of people were either shipping Mieti and Ash or Serena and Ash. But your guys' thoughts on this? Like, what was your reaction to this love triangle fight?
Well, I think it was something unique. Yeah, like you said, Daniel, because we didn't really have like some sort of a love triangle fight, since Pokemon 2000. But that's only happened in the movies, and like you said, this is the first that we've ever gotten in the anime series, if I'm correct. And having this rivalry, I think it would help develop Serena in regards to her character a lot more. Because if you ask me, I think Miette is only there not because she doesn't like Ash, but I think she's there as a way to you know muster Serena the strength and the courage to soon tell Ash how she truly feels about her. I mean, excuse me, did I say that wrong? How she truly feels about him. Gosh, I don't know. I kind of have a sleep, guys. Sorry about that.
It's all good. It's all good. What about you, DJ?
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way, and still, mm, um, around when this episode first came out, I still wasn't like up and up with everything, so I kind of had it spoiled for me ahead of time. So like actually seeing it wasn't surprising, but then like seeing how it all played out, I thought it worked really well, and uh, I was hoping that we'd get to see her again at some point, which we did, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Um,
the whole idea of it is, I think it worked really well.
You were gonna
Yeah.
say something, Prim?
uh, a correction first. We actually have had other love rival characters appear in Pocket Monsters before.
Well, there
I
you
think the
go.
most notable one may be there was Macy in the Johto League, who acted as sort of a rival for Misty, and then there was a girl in the Kanto Battle Frontier arc who uh, was a rival for May for Drew's affections. The difference between Miette and these characters, though, is that Miette is a recurring character. At least she is now. While Macy, the one girl whose name I can't remember, they were only one-shot characters and only appeared in one episode. Well, I guess Macy technically appeared in two episodes, but she had a very minor role in the whole Ash Jackson episode. But Johto League was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's
As well, uh, a point I forgot to bring up: while the XY series was in this early arc, we actually got kind of a present because a girls' magazine in Japan came out, and in this magazine was a poster of Ash and Serena sitting together, surrounded by heart-shaped balloons. Serena holding onto one of these heart-shaped balloons, looking at Ash, and Ash kind of being himself. So there's a lot of push not only in the series with characters like Miette and other situations, but also from a promotional standpoint outside of the series, with the characters commonly being put together to the exclusion of Clement and Bonnie, the other two protagonist characters, as well as kind of pushing them romantically.
Well, that's really interesting because, like, I know what poster you're talking about, and I really enjoyed it, but I had no idea that it came from a Japanese girl magazine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody else was surprised as well. I mean, this is one of the three posters that we got between Ash and Serena. So, like you said before, from a promotional standpoint, like they were really advertising these two characters together, like hinting that they were a couple or something like that. I mean, where was Clement and Bonnie? I mean, sometimes you have Pokemon there, but it's like the main point of it was Ash and Serena together, and that's what.
Especially that first poster was really jarring because Dedenne is on that poster, but Bonnie isn't. Where
Yeah,
Pikachu and Finnegan are also on the poster.
yeah. So that,
Yeah,
like, I don't,
yeah,
yeah, they were just basically promoting them, if anything. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Why would you put those two characters, and then why heart-shaped balloons as well?
yeah. DJ, did you have anything to say about this, or did you feel the same way?
Yeah, pretty much the same way. Although I think it might be possible Bonnie's hiding in the balloons. She's just hanging out,
I mean, I did see like
spying.
I did see a yellow speck of hair on top of one of those balloons, so you're probably right.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to zoom in.
Zoom in
Yeah,
200 times. Yeah. All right,
totally real.
confirmed. All right, moving along. Prim.
All right. From here we get a couple other cute moments, especially during the Karina arc. But the next really, I suppose, intense Amourshipping moment between the characters was episode 40, which was during the summer camp arc, and this is probably the best episode that shows how the characters really build off and play off each other because you have Ash acting as this mentor who Ash is acting as an more experienced trainer to Serena and teaching her about finding her own dream and telling her that it's okay that it's taking her this long. And this is how this is Ash's half of the relationship. It's Ash the Ash the protector, Ash the mentor, Ash the guardian. Uh, After the
Yeah,
summer camp arc ended, Serena eventually does find her goal of being a Pokemon performer.
Yeah, and it does
And so,
come to show how much Ash has affected Serena just for that simple talk.
yeah, and it also shows like how much he's grown as well as a trainer himself. I mean, usually he's the one that's getting mentored, but here he is mentoring somebody else. Like I like watching Pokemon since as a child. Like I always seen Ash as the one being told to do this and that so he could grow as a better person. But here we are, like fast forward years later, and then here he is mentoring this girl who has no idea what she wants to do in the future, and it's just great to see that that development.
Yeah, it's without a doubt, like Prim said, one of the best episodes I've seen from Pokemon, mainly because of that reason. Just having Serena find her dream later on because of Ash, and just absorbing Ash's words. Yeah, like I said, it's just one of my favorite episodes that X and Y has to offer.
Your thoughts, DJ?
Yeah, and like shipping aside, I think the episode and just that moment in general just serves as a good point for like character development for mostly Serena, but I guess Ash to an extent because like you were talking about the mentoring role. But yeah, it was uh, that episode and that particular moment. I think it was good in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if this relates to the discussion, but do you think something like that would ever happen again?
I think it would, to be honest. I mean, I don't see why not. There's nothing that's stopping it from happening again. But I think the situation would turn, I don't know, vice versa, where Serena would be helping Ash in some sort of way, like maybe after dealing with a huge loss, because we are nearing. Well, we haven't got any new episodes where that's gonna happen, but since we're nearing the part where Ash is gonna battle Alan eventually, and then Team Flare or Shota, like maybe he's gonna lose that, and an accident happens, and then Serena's there to help out Ash. So I see that happening in some sort of way, but that's just a theory of mine. What about you, Prim? What
Yeah.
do you
there was
think?
there was a tiny little bit of foreshadowing for this moment in XY92 when the events of XY40 are directly referenced by Serena in a sort of mental monologue as she watches Ash and Frogadier vow to push each other to new heights and reach their dream of being a Pokemon master.
Yeah.
Yeah, and DJ, any thoughts?
I wasn't really listening to that part because my roommates wanted me to watch Jeopardy. So,
Okay, so allow me to repeat the question. So, okay, going back to episode 40, you know how Ash and Serena had their talk. Now, my question was, do you think something like that would happen again in the future?
I mean, like where they're just alone, like an advice type thing.
Like, do you think that Serena's gonna mentor Ash like he did to her when they fell down that ravine?
Or vice
Okay,
versa?
Yeah.
okay, so I'll just start right there. Okay. Yeah, I think like a role reversal type of thing would work really well in the future, especially like where we're seeing in the theme for X, Y, and Z. We see Ash going under some kind of struggle with uh, Sawyer and Alon, and Greninja's gonna leave supposedly. So like maybe this would be the time for Serena to do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
Um,
Prem, you want to continue on unless no one else has anything else to say?
no, I'm good.
All right, Prem, you want to continue from there?
This is also about the time in the series where the 17th Pokemon movie, Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction, comes out. And while there's nothing really notably shippy in the movie itself, we did get the second poster featuring Ash and Serena alone, sitting on a boat drinking drinks. And this is the outside push that these two characters are seen as a couple is something that is actually repeated very shortly because coming up after Serena becomes a Pokemon performer is the infamous XY59. Its Japanese title, Satoshi and Serena's First Date, The Vow Tree and the Presents. Its subtitle is the much more concise Under the Pledging Tree. When this episode title came out, there was a lot of speculation and a lot of hype generated about it, and clearly the Japanese producers of the show thought that they would have their own fun too, because it actually got an extra commercial compared to what other episodes of Pokemon X, Y, and Z got. There's a commercial playing romantic music in the background showing clips of the episode that has Ash basically. Ash goes, Serena, come with me. And Serena's like, come with you? But, and the whole joke is a pun on a very antiquated word in Japanese that means to go with someone. However, in modern context, it's really only used when you're asking someone out on a date. So Serena gets flustered because she thinks Ash is asking her on a date, and he goes, "Yeah, come with me to watch Pokemon XY Thursdays at 7:30." And Serena's like, "That's what you meant."
This whole date between Ash and Serena.
Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised that they released the third commercial the day before the actual episode came out, because I remember I was just on my desk one day, and then a lot of people are tweeting at me saying like, "Dude, there's a third commercial." I'm like, "Wait, what? That's never happened before." And then well, third preview, I mean. And then yeah, I saw it, and I'm like, "Wait, this romantic music, like Prim said." I'm like, "What's going on here?" I was already hyped as it was, so imagine getting that preview. And as an Amore shipper, like I could not sleep that night. Like, why would they add that third commercial? It got me thinking. I'm like, not only are they hyping this up even more, but they're just putting more emphasis in date. The date. Well, Serena thinking that it was a date. So it was a really exciting moment for me. I saw the episode, did not fail to impress. I mean, there were some things I did wish they did, but yeah, I think it was an overall good episode, and that commercial really got me thinking. But what about you, DJ? What do you think about that?
Yeah, for me, the date episode in general is just special to me, like in multiple ways. Like I was really getting into the show and the fandom, like it was like days or like a week before just that was announced. So like when that was announced, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I came in at the right time. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was basically just hyping it up the whole time as it was as the date was drawing nearer. And yeah, that commercial, the third one, that was special. And um, yeah, the episode itself, the overall is pretty good. The summaries kind of straight up lied about some things, but can't have everything.
I
So
like yeah. I like what they did with one of the scans where they just put Ash and Serena facing each other, almost to where it looked like they were about to kiss. I mean, like they had all these moments that they could have put, but they put that moment, you know.
they knew.
Yeah,
They
they
knew.
trolled us so hard, dude. But like I said before, it was a good episode overall. I mean, like I said before too, I wish they did some things, but you can't have everything, right? Um,
Yeah.
I I
All
actually
right.
have kind of a funny story about the episode.
go
I
for it.
intended to get up early and watch it live streaming on the internet, like many people do. However, that day of all particular days, I ended up oversleeping and missing my alarm. So I had to get up, go to work, and work my entire 10-hour shift and have to be disconnected from Tumblr, from Skype, from the internet, and just have to sit there and wait because I didn't want anything to spoil the episode for me. I didn't want to see anything from the episode until I saw it myself. And
Yeah,
honestly, I felt like it was really worth the wait. I waited since November for it, so I waited an extra several hours. For
yeah,
myself, I really liked the episode. Clearly, this is Pocket Monsters. This is Pokemon. If you're expecting, among other things, the characters to confess their romantic feelings for each other in the middle of a story arc, you're
True.
probably getting your hopes up.
this isn't Swords Art Online. I'm just saying, all right. This is not Swords
Yeah,
Art Online.
this is Pokemon is a lot more by the numbers with this sort of thing. So if we're gonna get a confession out of either character, it's going to be one of the last things that happened in the XY series. But from that, with those expectations in mind, we got a lot of cute interaction between the two characters. We got a genuine moment of Serena advising Ash and helping him genuinely. We have a moment where Serena is given a gift by Ash, and there's been a lot of debate over Ash giving other characters gifts since the date episode came out. But you have to look at how the episode presented that scene. When Ash was giving Serena the gift, they were the only two humans in the shot. The pledge tree was placed between them in the shot. There was kind of a hazy filter over everything. Fireworks were going off that you can see. The colors like exploding over the characters' heads.
It was
This
a really
is
good
it,
this is
setting.
a
yeah, it was basically like your cliche ending movie. Like the two characters are gonna wind up together. You know what I mean? Like that moment, they're
exactly.
just
This is a very romantically coded scene, and that was the intent of the scene. While
Yeah.
it may not seem like a lot happened, that was actually a very big moment, especially on Twitter. Satosari ended up trending on Twitter. Satosari being a portmanteau of Satoshi and Serena. Japanese ship names are not like American Pokemon ship names. They take the first two characters of each character's name. So Satoshi and Serena become Satosari. The
Yeah.
Satosari trended on Twitter, which for a show that has been called dying because of things like Yokai Watch, to have a character ship trending on Japanese Twitter is actually a pretty big deal, I feel like.
It
yeah.
is. It is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, if we got that much attention for Sato's area, imagine when if it ever becomes canon. Just imagine how like I'm pretty sure that'd be trending number one. I mean, I might be exaggerating, but yeah. Hopefully, when that day comes, a lot of people are trending it. That's what I'm hoping. You were gonna say something, Edgar?
Yeah. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts and opinions about the episode. So I basically remember the day from when it was announced. So of course it was like almost a year ago. So it happened around December when I think it's the the Pokemon Fandom magazine that came out that listed some of the future episodes, the first few episodes for 2015. Uh, by the time I got to that scan, I was overwhelmed with joy to think that something like that would happen. And just so you know, you guys, I mean, I had high hopes. So you know, I made so I didn't realize how okay, well, how do I say this? Like I hyped up too much and I hope for too much. So that was something that I somewhat regret, but I still hope that it turned to be a really great episode. But anyways, yeah, I remember the Twitter, not the Twitter, but of course a lot of communities exploded when this was announced because something like that has never happened before. In regards to the episode titles, actually Serena's first date, it did misled a lot of people in some way. I mean, some people thought that they're gonna expect a kiss or confessions or something like that, but I was one of them. But looking back, people did hope for too much, and like I said before, what if it didn't turn out what I had expected? I just hope for a really good episode, and by the time that episode came, in which I had a very rough time trying to get some sleep, it turned out to be a really good episode, really good interaction between Ash and Serena. I felt that is something that is really needed within the X and Y series ever since episode 40, basically the last time that we've got interaction between the two. But episode 59 was a really great way to have some more interaction between one another, and leading up
Yeah.
to the end where Ash Serena where Ash gives Serena the gift, and which happens to be the infamous blue ribbon, and something that was used in the future, but I'm sure we're gonna get into that eventually. So yeah, just those are my initial thoughts. I mean, um, the
Yeah.
the community exploded and whatnot. It turned out to be a great episode.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the date episode because we have so much. I mean, that much anymore because we have so
Yeah.
much more to talk about. But one final thing too, when we did get the scan for the episode, we like when we got the announcement of that episode, we didn't have like a lot of detail about it. Like it was super, like it was hidden, like not hidden, but not a lot of information was given about it. Like we kept getting scans about the gym battle between Ramos. We kept getting just other information about other episodes, but I felt as though the date episode got the least amount of information, given to the audience. So that was something else. Like they really kept it hidden.
Yeah,
Just wanted
the
to say
writers
that.
just made us miserable in regards to keep that information well hidden because a lot of us they wanted to know what's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. So I think we talked
Yeah,
enough about the
when you have such premium bait as Ash Ketchum goes on a date, you don't tell more than you really have to, because people are going to show up and go, Ash Ketchum is going on a date. Let's go see what the hell's going on over here. That's really all you have to say.
It sells itself. Like you don't need any extra work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, so moving on.
Uh, as Edgar mentioned, the blue ribbon that Ash gave Serena ends up being an important piece on her new outfit after she loses the Coumarine City Pokemon Showcase, or Try Pokemon for people who primarily watch subtitled episodes. Uh, she ends up wearing it in every episode after 60. So, continuous Amourshipping, a bleh, physical symbol of Ash's influence on Serena. Whatever. Moving on.
Every
Yeah.
Uh,
episode, like you cannot say that there's not a more shipping in every episode because Serena basically has it every day. She's always wearing
Yeah.
it.
She is wearing the end. It is
Yeah.
moving with her.
Yeah.
the next the next leg of the journey focuses much more on Clement, because obviously it's building up to the fifth Kalos gym battle in Lumio City. However, we do get some moments here and there, especially Serena worrying over Ash during his fifth gym battle with Clement. And then we kind of enter the latter arc of the XY series, starting after episode 70, when the opening changes for the final time to show scenes of Serena and Eevee, and shows hints that Ash and Alon will be meeting. We see Ash earning his next few gym badges. We see Serena earn her first Princess Key, as well as the return of Miette, as well as the first instances of friendly characters learning about Serena's feelings for Ash, this being Bonnie in XY80.
Hashtag Bonnie knows.
Yes.
Hashtag Bonnie knows.
Was that even
Um,
trending? Probably.
I don't think so. Anyways, go on, Prim.
there's a few other cute scenes tapped in the episodes. we get another movie poster for the 18th Pokemon movie, Hoopa and the Clash of Ages, that shows Ash and Serena again as the only two human characters, with Hoopa and Pikachu being the other characters on the poster. Uh, Going into the final, I guess you'd call it, Star City arc of the XY series, you have Shauna revealing that she knows about Serena's feelings for Ash.
Shauna knows.
And this is probably the last major Amourshipping moment of the XY series. We have two now friendly characters knowing about Serena's feelings for Ash. And going into the last episode, the Star Gym battle, we have Serena continuing to be supportive and continuing to believe in Ash like she has all series long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and from there, that's basically it. Now, do you guys want to talk about how, with this whole hashtag Bonnie knows and hashtag Shauna knows, like,
Yeah, like I
did,
wanted. Like, go ahead.
no, okay, so, I was gonna say if you guys want to talk about that and how it would affect the more shipping itself.
Yeah, I mean, I did like now that we already like knocked out the major worshipping hints from episode 1 to 93, right? 93.
Yes,
Uh,
93.
Yeah, 93. So like, let's talk about the people that know what's going on. And Prim, I think you're missing somebody, and a lot of people don't mention her a lot. But Alexa, Alexa in episode 5 when she, no, episode 5 or 6, I think it was when she said that.
it is
Wow,
XY
Six.
6.
it was
Episode
6,
6.
right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
was episode 6. Okay, so basically, she made a comment saying like, I didn't expect like Ash would get his well, not get his hopes up again, but like you relieved Ash in some sort of way, and that she was like she didn't expect that from Serena or this girl.
It was something
And
like
Something going on.
I saw you, and Serena's like, what? And she's like, I knew Ash would need something to get his fire going again, but I didn't expect it to be you.
Something like
yeah,
that,
and
yeah.
then she gave him that look, man. That look, like that's another look. Bonnie knows, and then Alexa knows, but I don't think a lot of people talked about
I guess
that. But what?
I
Go
guess
ahead.
it's harder to talk about Alexa because she also knew Ash before Clement and Bonnie did, and I feel like it's harder to count Alexa as someone who knows because we haven't really seen her. It wasn't as obvious what she said as what Bonnie and Shauna said. You can draw that conclusion, but it's nothing. There are other conclusions you can make based
Yeah,
on the dialogue between the two characters.
yeah. So I guess you could say that we have her in mind, but nothing's been confirmed yet as far as Alexa knowing Serena's feelings towards Ash.
As
Because at
far as
that
Yeah.
point,
antagonistic
Serena was
characters,
just
we
like a
have Miette,
random.
obviously.
What you were saying,
Yeah.
DJ?
I was just saying, like, at that point, Serena was just some random girl. Like, that's all she really was at that point to
Yeah,
Alexa. So
to
there wasn't
Alexa.
much to draw from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And then going from Alexa, let's talk about a little bit about Mieti, because I think out of everybody, like Shauna knows, Bonnie knows, Mieti knows, Alexa knows. I think she's like the one that really knows. I mean, she even said it herself at the end of the Pokepup episode. Like, if you don't say anything, then I'm going to say something back to him. You know, like
If you
utilize this.
don't get your head out of the clouds, I'm going to steal Satoshi away.
Basically, yeah. And yeah, my reaction, yeah, that was a great moment, man. As an Amore shipper, like at that time, I was like, dude, they're just building this up to the point where I need to just watch every single episode for every tiny small hint. I think that episode did it. Like I had to watch every episode, every single second of it. Like if I miss anything, man. But yeah, what
yeah,
do you guys think about Mieti? Because I know there's tons to talk about Mieti. I mean, she
yeah. I
knows.
kind of gave
Miette's
my thoughts
probably.
about that already.
Oh,
Sorry, I just want to say quickly. I kind of gave my thoughts about that already, so I'm just gonna pass it on to you guys.
Are you gonna say something,
So
Prim?
Miette is one of my favorite characters introduced in the XY series. Uh, of the anime-only characters like Sawyer, Alon, I feel like Miette is my favorite of those because, while she's definitely not going to play as big a role in the story as the Mega Evolution characters, she's just got so much like kick to her. The entirety of the the entirety of the second showcase episode, XY80, whenever Serena and Miette are directly interacting, Miette is playing her because she'll either, like in the beginning of the episode, she went directly at that haircut. For those of you in the audience who may be unaware, whenever a major change happens in a girl's life in Japan, it's cliche to cut one's hair as sort of a casting off of the old person. Boys do it too, but you can see this in, for example, Final Fantasy IX or Tales of the
Avatar
Abyss.
Zuko. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
So, Miek, the other part of the cliche is, though, that girls do it when they're rejected by boys they like. So, Miet dove in and was like, "Oh, you cut your hair. Did Satoshi reject you?" The
Yes,
dub mangled this moment a bit, but
Can I just say something here? I mean, if she did reject them, like, do you think, like, if it actually happened, do you think Serena would still be traveling with him?
no,
In your opinion? Yeah, like,
flat
come on,
no.
Mietti. It's common sense, man. Like, it'd be so awkward every day. Like, you know for a fact you just rejected this girl. I mean, we're not here to talk about, like, how it would go, but come on. Like, I mean, that's a good discussion topic, but still, it'd be pretty awkward.
yeah.
Oh,
So, all right. So, DJ, do you have anything to say about Miette?
Yeah, I think most of like what we could say about Mia it's already been said one way or another. Like I said before, that I thought the way she plays off of Serena worked really well, and I'm glad that she was able to come back for another episode. And I think it's been made clear by this point that she's definitely we haven't seen the last of her. We're gonna see her sometime again. So I think it's gonna be interesting, like how much else she can do, just on her own merits, and like how to push the ship any further. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to that in the future.
And she's only appeared in 2 episodes, right? Am I right? For the entire X and Y
yes,
series?
she's
Yeah,
Two
only
Only
episodes, yes.
in 2 episodes.
2 episodes,
in
and
that
those
two
two
episodes, she's
episodes.
already had like such an impact
I know,
on
right?
our
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, definitely.
In the episodes 26 and 80. But I think one of the most interesting things about Mia is how she's totally set up as a foil for Serena's character, starting from even her character design to her personality. Miette Miette's character design, if you invert all of the colors in it, is actually an inversion of Serena's current outfit that she wears in the XY series. Uh, the blue ribbon is Miette's orange scarf. Most of Miette's outfit turns uh, pink with like accents of red, and Miette's eye and hair color become the same honey blonde and blue eyes that Serena has. Uh, so even from a character development standpoint, where they were thinking about how to draw this character, how to implement this character in the series, the thing going through their head was this character needs to be the antithesis of Serena. Even in her character, we see that Mia is forward and uh, kind of obtrusive. She, where Serena is afraid that Ash will ever find out that she likes him, Miette is the one sitting next to him and going, "Hey Ash, do you have a wife yet?"
Straight up.
And
Yeah.
this is, we know that Serena has feelings for Ash, and having Miette there to move things along in the way that she does, it's new for the series. It's very interesting, and I can't wait for Miette's next appearance where we can see how she has grown and developed in her rivalry with Serena as a performer and in this rivalry for Ash that she hasn't given up on, if you remember the ending of the episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she doesn't even deny it either. I mean, after what she said, she does not deny it whatsoever. She just blushes and then walks away. Actually, I think she just yeah, she just blushes and walks away, but smiling. You know, try not to let that get to her, because she knows in the future. Hopefully, that's what I that's what she meant. That I'm gonna eventually tell him. but only time will tell. Um,
Yeah. And just another question that I have, and I already give my thoughts about this, but this is a question that people has been asking themselves as well. But I want to ask you guys: do you guys think Miette actually likes Ash?
okay. Prim, you wanna take that first?
Not really. Mia Mia sees that Ash is brave. She sees that he's like kind of energetic and supportive, especially of his friends. But Mia really hasn't been around Ash long enough, nor shown any of the telltale signs of having a crush on him. We have so many examples of other characters getting feelings for Ash. We had Annabelle from the Battle Frontier arc. We had Angie from Sinnoh. Mia has not acted like either of those characters at all. She hasn't acted like Serena at all when dealing with Ash. In fact, most of Mia's interactions with Ash have been through Serena. So I don't believe Mia actually has feelings for Ash. I feel like Mia is just trying to push Serena to act.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
But
I'll go ahead,
I
Edgar.
just DJ or Daniel, your thoughts?
No, no, no. I basically feel the same way, like basically what Prim said. But I mean, if you guys have something to say about that, go ahead.
DJ?
I mean, I think it could go like either way. Like, I personally don't think that she has a crush on Ash, but like as to why she acts like that, it could be she's actually trying to help Serena move forward in that direction, or she's just trying to get under her skin for like competition purposes. I feel like either one of those are possible.
And DJ just made me remember. So yeah, like what he just said right now, like maybe she's actually just trying to get um her to confess first, cause like at the end of the day, like we only seen Mieti in 2 episodes, and I think Mieti knows for a fact that she's not gonna be traveling with them. So in a way, I think that's her way of helping Serena to get with Ash. But that's just my opinion, kind of like what DJ said. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, so we're basically done with Miette. Now, do you guys want to talk about
Bonnie,
Bonnie or
yes,
Bonnie? Okay,
about Bonnie.
so
Okay, so Prib, do you want to take this away?
Bonnie knows. Hashtag Bonnie knows. Bonnie's actually probably known for a while because we actually got a decent hint back in XY25, the Solage City Gym battle, when early on in the episode, Serena is worrying over Ash's performance in the battle, and Bonnie is the one who hangs the neon sign on it, going, "How weird! This is Ash's battle, not yours." And Serena, of course, explains, "I didn't know how hard it was before, and now I know it's super difficult, and Ash has been trying really hard, so I want all of his efforts to bear fruit." But clearly, Bonnie was already on to something, even as far as back then. And we get confirmation that she knows in XY80.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, she does know a lot about love. I mean, she is trying to get a girl with Clement. So, and then something else that I wanted to bring up too, like why hasn't she asked that? I mean, Serena to get with Clement. So that's something else. I mean, it hasn't really been dealt with in the series itself. Like we never had a moment like that where um the characters were thinking, well, like what? Why hasn't Bonnie done that? I don't think they would think that, but yeah, it's never been dealt with in the episodes. Your guys' thoughts on that?
I think I'm gonna just pass on to DJ for a reason.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. But I feel like within just the show of what we've seen, I think it's interesting that she hasn't done that because um, her and Serena have like a really close sister-like bond. So you'd think that if she wasn't aware of those feelings, she would have proposed to her for Clement by this point because she wants to be with Serena. She wants to hang out with her more. So like, yeah, I think the reason she hasn't done that has a lot to do with that she's aware of the fact that Serena already has feelings for Ash.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah,
maybe they said that. Maybe Serena said that to Bonnie one day. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it happened off screen, so we don't know.
I feel like Serena's more secretive about it.
Mm.
Yeah, that could be the case, and I am along the lines with what DJ said. Now, going back to episode, what's the battle? Episode 26?
25.
25.
25.
25. Okay, yeah. So going back to episode 25, Bonnie did caught on to what was going on with Serena, and I, from that point, we kind of get the idea that maybe Bonnie understands what's going on with in regards to Serena's connection with Ash, and I think that since that episode, Bonnie just wanted to make sure, or just wanted to get some solid information that Serena does have a crush on Ash. So that way, like, just in case, if she were to suddenly have Serena, propose for his brother or her brother, I guess you could say that it will kind of mess up in some way. I'm not sure if that makes any sense for for the likelihood of Serena getting with Ash had she hadn't she knew that. But yeah, but since she knew about that, I think that Bonnie will try to put up an effort, at least an effort, to try to have Serena and Ash together.
As in the end game. But we're gonna talk about that in another discussion. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I would like to mention, as far as Bonnie keeping girls for her brother, her targets are generally older than Clement, uh, more well established than Clement, more mother figures
Yeah,
than
I kind of forgot
uh,
about that.
Yeah.
like girlfriend figures. Like the best example to pull out for this is Miss Eclair from XY48, the
A,
episode where Ash reunites with
a
uh,
campus reunion.
shoot,
Yeah.
Shanks evolves into Luxio. uh, Clearly, Miss Eclair was uh, Clement's teacher, and probably not the best idea for a girlfriend or wife.
Yeah.
Uh, so it may not just be that Serena is not. It may not just be that Serena has feelings for Ash. It may also just be that Serena is not the kind of figure that Bonnie thinks Clement needs in his life. I think I would actually. I think we will actually get an episode where Bonnie tries to keep Serena. I don't know what the context of this episode will be. It might be something like Clement and Bonnie have a fight, so Bonnie's like, well, forget you, Clement. I'm going to make Ash my brother now. And then she starts trying to keep brides for Ash because that seems like it would be a pretty hilarious episode. And it could be the case there that Serena gets tried to be kept there. But that's speculation on my part. I think it's, I feel like it's a pretty obvious and easy episode to write, especially for a late X, Y, and Z filler episode. But
Hmm.
I'm rambling now.
Yeah,
It's all
it's an
good.
interesting
It's all good.
concept. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm all for that happening.
Make it happen, excellent writers. All right. So moving on to the final person that knows for now. I mean, in the future, maybe we could get Delia or Grace knowing. Well, I think Grace already knows, but who I wanted to talk about now is Shauna knows. So what are your thoughts on that, Prim? Before we give our opinions.
This is actually pretty topical because the dub of XY 90 just aired in the United States. It's Shonen is a pretty. It's interesting that we have two rivals who know now because like
Which
we've
is
had
Miette
like the
and Shauna.
antagonistic Ursula type, Harley type rival no, and now we have the more buddy buddy Zoe Drew type rival learn
Hmm.
about Serena's feelings for Ash, and I feel like that this is going to come up again, especially from Shauna's perspective. Maybe this will be something that comes up again during the master class, since that'll be the next like huge gathering of all the characters that know. Especially if, say, it's in Lumio City, and we could even have Alexa there.
Oh God.
With Grace, without Grace as a plus.
Yeah. Maybe
I think
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think it's worth noting that like the whole Shauna knows thing that came out of nowhere. It just happened. We were like, what?
Yeah,
This is
Yeah,
where
not.
we did have the
We had
where we did have
the summer camp episode.
Yeah, but there wasn't much like of anything going on there with Shauna noticing anything.
I mean,
yes,
had,
oh,
we
go
didn't
ahead.
had
really.
Bonnie we had Bonnie in 25 and then Bonnie in 80, but we never had a pre like oh maybe there is something between or Shauna never showed any suspicion or anything of Serena before that moment.
Yeah. Um, I mean, Edgar, do you want to go ahead and say something, or?
Yeah, I was just about to say that compared to when Mieti made her debuts, we've gotten some information, kind of noting that Miet knows about Serena's crush because probably the most noticeable one that I can remember was the preview for that episode. When Miet was giving Serena that look, and the reaction that we got from that was Serena blushing. That was an idea that we kind of had in our head that Miet knows about Serena's feelings towards Ash. Now we didn't get anything for Shauna whatsoever. I mean, had we got a screenshot of of this whole Shauna knows scene within a scan, then that would have gave us an idea. But as far as it happened, we haven't gotten any solid information regarding Shauna knowing about Serena's feelings.
Well, to be fair, it was all about that double battle. Like they were really hyping us up for that double battle they were gonna have. So
Yeah,
I counter your double battle with Nurse Serena because Nurse Serena had almost nothing to do with Chespin and Bunnelby, but what picture did they use to advertise the episode?
that's true. That's true. They love messing with us. But like you were going back to Shauna, how you said that Shauna probably didn't know before DJ. If you go back to episode 40, day 3 blockbusters when they're at the beach and Shauna makes a comment saying in the dub version that that Ash is a pretty smart guy or something like that. Like I don't know if she was teasing her about it or she was just saying that like any friend would. But what are your thoughts on this? Like what do you take from that?
I think it's a bit of both.
Bit of
Nothing more,
both.
nothing less. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying like it was a big pivotal Shauna knows moment, but
Yeah, but
uh,
I guess you could say that in that moment, we could get the idea that perhaps Shauna knows. So we weren't 100% sure about about Shauna's knowledge on Serena's feelings towards Ash. But of course, we didn't get that until episode 90, was it?
yeah, I think it
Well,
90.
yeah.
was yeah, it was 90.
Okay, yeah. So it took us some time until we got some confirmation that Shauna does actually know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't see everything that happens at summer camp on screen. We don't even really see everything that happens to Ash and his friends on screen. So it could have been some moment during the fishing tournament, some moment like at night while they were eating dinner or something. It could even be something like Shauna noticing Serena worried about Ash's hurt foot off screen, even though we saw Serena ask Ash about his foot. It could have happened at summer camp and we just weren't privy to the information.
Yeah. And I think that pretty much sums up Shauna knows. I mean, do you guys have anything else to say about her knowing?
Well, a question like, since Shauna knows, like, what role do you think she'll play in a more shipping? Like, do you think she'll play tricks like Miette trying to help Serena confess her feelings towards Ash? Like
I
Um
don't
me,
feel like she'll do that because I don't feel like she's that kind of friend.
yeah, I'm going to have to agree
I feel
with
like Shauna,
Prem there.
okay,
yeah,
well,
I feel
pick. No, go ahead.
I feel like Shauna's gonna be more the friend that's like in Serena's corner and like there's gonna be a moment where Serena has to tell Ash because something is going to happen and it involves him in some way. And Shauna's gonna be the one who encourages her to speak her mind and remember all the lessons that Ash taught her, blah 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 blah, rather than trying to sneak some sort of trick that puts Ash and Serena locked in a box together or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think yeah, like what Prem said right now. Like I think she's the type of friend to not do that first off, but to actually help her out, in a friendly manner as best as she could. Like, yeah, if she needs like a little push, then Shauna will do it. But like up to what extent, I don't know. Um, I think Bonnie will do that if anything, but Shauna will help out too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say.
DJ?
Yeah, I feel like if Shauna did anything directly, like it would be more of a private thing. It wouldn't be out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And in my opinion, like, yeah, Shauna doesn't seem like the type of character that will pull up these kinds of tricks. But I think she would, but in a more gentle way, knowing how Shauna's character is. I think it wouldn't hurt to see some playful tricks from Shauna here and there, but I don't think as much as Mian and Bonnie.
Yeah. We'll see in the future. Try Pokemon. We'll see. All
Yeah.
right. All right. So I think I think we talked about everybody that knows about Amore shipping. Talk about Shauna, Bonnie, a little bit about Alexa and Mieti, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So Prim, you wanted to talk about something too about character. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, there's one character we kind of didn't talk about who knows, but who very obviously knows, and that is Serena herself.
Mm.
Uh, Serena's Serena's interactions with Ash have been nothing sort of life changing. Uh, she used him as an excuse to get out of from under the thumb of her controlling Rhyhorn racing mother, and when she meets him, he's totally understanding that she doesn't know what she wants to do yet, and even invites her to come along when she doesn't know what she's going to do. Through her interactions with Ash, we see her go from someone who doesn't really know what they're doing or know what they're going to do with Pokemon, and she blossoms into a much more confident, much more active character. There were many complaints in the first part of the XY series that Serena's character was too passive. She was in the background far too often, and she never got enough focus. And when she did get focus, it was usually to highlight her affection for Ash. Starting with XY40, this sort of starts to change because we start to see Serena building more confidence in herself. Starting with that very candid private talk with Ash, where he talks about how she should work to reach her dreams with Finnegan. She
Yeah.
ends up becoming a Pokemon performer. I'm sorry, go on.
No, no, no. I'm just agreeing with that. Go ahead.
She ends up becoming a Pokemon performer. Um, she goes to her first showcase and she loses, and she loses pretty badly. She's not even able to really show everything that she and Finnegan can do, and she just kind of bottles up these emotions that are inside her, these intensely sad emotions, until she's able to go off by herself and do it. And Ash kind of knows this. You can tell by the way that he and Clement were discussing her after the showcase ended that they both knew that something was wrong with Serena, and Ash's way of handling this was that Serena needed to kind of just digest what happened.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped her become more confident in herself because there were a lot of Amore shippers who wanted Ash to swoop in and cheer Serena up when she was sad and pick her up when she fell, but Serena honestly needed to stand on her own 2 feet at that moment. And that's something a lot of people had been complaining about her character from the beginning, that she seemed like a satellite character to Ash, where XY60 took this character that people were like, oh, she's just gonna fall apart, and not only did she hold herself together until she could cry alone, but she cried because, yes, she lost, but she's finally at the starting line to the race to her dream, and she's ready to go do it, and she's just so confident in herself now. It's a complete transformation, and that's just built on her haircut and complete change of her outfit. Of course, it is Ash that made all of this possible. It's Ash that taught her never to give up. It is Ash that told her that she can do things in her own time, in her own way. And the ribbon, like I mentioned earlier, is a symbol of Ash's influence on her life. That no matter where it happens, no matter where she goes, a part of Ash is always going to be with her.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and going back to what the criticisms and what people first said about Serena, like we were in the first stages of the X and Y series, and of course, knowing the first episode where Serena wanted to travel with Ash and the others only because she wanted to see Ash, and of course, like we already knew that she didn't had a purpose, like a meaningful purpose to travel with them. She didn't had a goal to start, and people were kind of complaining about that towards Serena that like she's useless in some way because she doesn't have an actual goal like May or Dawn or Iris. And like I said before, we were in the first stages of the X and Y series, so I guess you could say that it's too early to judge. And people have been saying that the X and Y series has been mainly nothing but a more shipping content, but what people don't really realize is that especially on what's going on right now, more shipping itself has helped both Ash and Serena in some way in regards to character development, and you know I, I think people just take a more shipping as a way to like it's not going to be canon, it's not going to be this and that, but people need to realize that it's a way to help further develop Ash and Serena because as pre mentioned before, you know, the conversation with Ashley Serena, hadn't that happened, Serena wouldn't have been able to push herself and realize what she wanted as a dream. That really, that conversation itself, and you could say, well, it is an amor shipping itself, but that amor shipping moment did push Serena to build some more character development, and so yeah, it's just it did help her shape up in some way, and as well as Ash with one particular example is when he was struggling after his first gym match, after he lost, and if it weren't for Serena, he wouldn't have gotten his confidence back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. There's actually something I disagree with you on, and you said that it was too early to judge, like that early on in the series. I feel like it's perfectly fair to judge Serena's character based on what happened in those episodes, but you have to have it in the context of her entire character arc. I really feel like that those first 39 episodes, we'll say, since XY40 was like a huge character development episode for her. Those first 39 episodes, there's a lot of pacing problems with Serena's character development. There's her arc gets it's hard to focus on her arc. The 5 episode Corinna arc didn't really help things in that regard because everyone took even further backseat than they normally do to Ash, except now they're also taking it to Corinna.
All
Um,
right,
so
but
I feel like it's okay to judge Serena's character. Those 40 episodes, they're not very good for Serena's character arc, and there's going to be something that always kind of it's always going to kind of be a black eye on the XY series as a whole. When years later we go back and think about like the good things XY did and the bad things XY did, the first 40 episodes is going to be one of the bad things XY did. It mishandled a lot early on, but I feel like there's reasons why this stuff happened. There's obviously we didn't know anything about Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire or how that was going to shake up the status quo. We didn't know much about what was going to happen with the third game, which still hasn't been announced yet. Um,
Hopefully this December.
they clearly didn't want to paint. Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
They clearly didn't want to paint themselves in a corner with whatever they decided to do. So they probably gave themselves those first 40 episodes just to kind of wait and see what happened, what the audience's reaction to certain things was, what we see people doing with what we see Nintendo doing, what we see the Pokemon Company doing.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna have
So
to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go on. I'm done.
All right. So I'm gonna have to agree with you there about that's gonna leave a black eye for the X and Y in the beginning for Serena's development. Like they had so much potential. Like they could have done this and that, but they didn't, and I don't understand what was their intent of not doing so. It took us 40 episodes to find out. We'll get more development of Serena. If that was their intent, then I don't know. I don't know. I think it failed. like I said before, they could have done this and that, but they didn't, and that kind of disappoints me. So yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there, Prim. Like that's gonna leave a black eye in the beginning of X and Y when it comes to Serena's development.
Now, this is
Yeah,
my personal opinion, but think the biggest problem for Serena in those first 40 episodes was pacing. Because we got two kind of Serena focused episodes in 7 and 8, and then we get 21 and 26 really close together, made even closer during the initial airing because of the skipping of XY24.
Yeah,
And they're just not really like if we took 8 and we had it much like about episode 13, 14-ish, if we took 26 and had it happen closer to summer camp, it would probably feel like Serena's development was spread out a bit more. But we needed the Corinna arc when it happened because that's probably, I'm not sure about dates, but I would wager that that's about the time the third Pokemon TCG expansion came out in Japan featuring Lucario and Mega Lucario. And Pokemon is a very merchandise driven show. So a lot of the things that they do all have to tie into merchandise in some way or another. And if they're not advertising games, it's probably a pretty safe bet they're trying to advertise something in the TCG.
yeah.
Virgil ended up having all the evolutions in Diamond and Best Wishes rather, because there was a TCG set that came out just around that time that also had all the evolutions in it. And Alon's episodes debuted right around the time the second XY set that had Mega Charizard in it came out. So that may be part of Serena's pacing problems can probably be blamed on merchandising.
could be the case.
Well, to be
Yeah.
fair, I didn't buy any, so it's all good.
DJ, do you have any say on this?
Overall, I think all of you laid everything out pretty well. Like, Serena's definitely come a long way throughout the entire course of the series, but most of that was done exclusively from episode 40 onward. And I feel like if they just handled her better towards the beginning, imagine like how much different it would be. Like, where would she be at now? Would she still be at the same spot, but everything would be spread out more and like handled at a more uh, even pace that made sense, or would she be even farther along with something? Like, because to an extent, I feel like the first 40 almost wasted time with her just doing different things and her moving on from them really quickly, not even really thinking about it, and just kind of once we finally got to summer camp and settled on try Pokemon, like I wonder, I feel like there's some different way that it could have been done and could have ultimately made things better.
All that potential for character development for her gone. But that's
We still got two more years.
like we move on and we'll see what happens in the future.
And where
But
she's
yeah,
at now is just fine. So
yeah. Like I have no yeah, same here. I have no problems with where she's at. All right, so anything else, Prim,
I
you want
kind
to
of
say about
talked
that?
about. Sorry, I guess I was going to kind of move on if
Yeah, that's what I
unless
was
anyone
gonna.
else has anything.
Yeah.
Well, we've kind of talked about how Ash has influenced Serena, but there's also been some ways that Serena has influenced Ash. Obviously, there's both the Santaloon and the Shallower gym battles where Serena plays a pretty active role in motivating Ash and helping him plan his strategy in those
Yeah.
matches. Uh, it's actually Serena's words that Ash has his own rhythm that end up helping him realize that he doesn't need the rhythm strategy to win because all he needs to do is do what he's done all this time up until now. I feel like that is an often underlooked moment where Serena has goes on to help Ash do something. Obviously, we've also mentioned XY59, where Serena directly helps Ash with something. But a lot of the times, Serena's influence on Ash is not as it's not
I,
as obvious as something that helps him win a gym badge or something that helps him in a festival.
or I guess something, or I guess you could say that it's not as impactful as when Ash helps out Serena.
Yeah, actually, that is a great way of saying it. It's not as impactful because of the four XY series characters that we follow, Ash is easily the most mature, the most self-actualized. He's gone through all the development that he's been through for the past going on 20 years, and So it's harder for characters like Clement, Bonnie, and Serena to teach him something that he hasn't already been taught before. Not that they haven't, taught Ash lessons more than once,
Yeah.
but Ash is kind of the leader and the head of the group, more so now than he's ever been. So obviously, it's harder for other characters to make deep, impactful moments on him. Serena has in those moments where she helps him win a gym badge. But there's also, as I was alluding to, like smaller, more nuanced things within Ash's uh, treatment of Serena and his actions when she's around. Uh, Ash was nervous when he was asking Serena to join him on their adventure, and Ash being nervous itself seems kind of, you know, contradictory.
Yeah.
And this is also, as we mentioned earlier, the first time Ash asked a female character to join him on his journey voluntarily. Every other time, they either just followed him or they blackmailed him or something.
Yeah, and like you said, Ash just straightforward said to Serena if she wanted to come along with them. Like Serena didn't have any idea of what she wanted to do, nor did she have plans to travel with them. But Ash just straightforwardly asked her if she wanted to come with them.
I just wanted to ask you guys a question. Like, if Ash didn't ask Serena to go with them on their journey, how do you think the writers would have handled it? Like, do you think Serena would have said, I think if I travel with you guys, I could you know, I could
I
find out
think
what my true
Serena would
calling
have
is?
tried to come up with some excuse to follow,
Yeah.
but I actually don't think she would have followed. I feel like she would have gone like, well, okay, I met Ash. He didn't remember me. Guess I'll just go do something else with my Finnegan now.
Thank God they didn't do that. But then I see it as like they'll meet up eventually in the future. Like maybe she found her, she wanted to be a tri Pokemon herself, and for some reason the gang goes to a tri Pokemon thing or whatever, and they see the same girl that tried to go with them on their journey before. So I don't know. That's another discussion, but just wanted to throw that out there. See how they handled it and your thoughts.
Yeah,
Uh,
I personally think that if had Ash not asked Serena to travel with them, like I honestly would see Serena in a different way just because of it. I don't know why, but I have a feeling. And also, I think that it would have taken a bit longer for Serena to officially join up with the gang if that were to be the case.
Yeah, like some Y series would have had like some episodes about Ash and then some episodes about Serena. I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that.
I feel
Uh,
like she would have gone out, tried a few things, gotten discouraged because she didn't have her friends there to encourage her, and then she would have gone home and become a Rhyhorn racer,
That's true, but you never know.
which
Like
is like
maybe,
the bad ending.
yeah, but you never know, man. Like she probably met some friends here and there helping her out because the Pokemon universe is not like everybody there is not mean. They're gonna help each other out. So we
yeah.
we don't know. But yeah, that's
Uh,
pretty much what I wanted to say.
well, DJ, your thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to think about. I don't really have much thought into what would happen. Like, we know that clearly in the beginning, um, when she was asked what's next for her, she was really indecisive about it. It's like she wanted to go, but like she wasn't sure about it. So it's like I don't. It could have gone either way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There's
anything
there's
else about that,
other
or do you guys want to move on?
there's other kind of like Ash is a lot more careful and protective of Serena than he seemed to be the other girls.
Yeah.
There's several times when Ash sticks his arm out in front of Serena to stop her from moving forward, or steps in front of her in order to take oncoming attacks. He's
Yeah, that's something
he
that's
of
been
course
quite.
steps in to save his other friends, but there's there's moments like in XY48 where there's a few frames that just have Ash stepping in front of Serena before he orders Pikachu to attack. There's in the Cave of Trials episode of the Corinna arc, Serena wanted to rush in and help Corinna, but Ash put up his arm and was like, no, this is something Corinna needs to do herself. So he's more. We also have moments where Ash kind of does something where if you thought this was OS Ash, if you thought this was Kanto series Ash, and you saw him doing this, it would make you confused because we have an Ash here who goes clothes shopping with Serena and Bonnie. Well, Clement and Sawyer are there too, and they're just kind of in the background. But this is the same character who threw a fit about perfume. I'll remind you. And now he's sitting back, letting the other girls do clothes shopping, and he's like, I'm sure glad Serena and Bonnie are having fun.
Yeah, I wonder what made him change heart doing that, you know?
Yeah,
I
X
Uh,
and
mean,
Y
then,
Ash is.
but then we have to remember it too. Like, she never really gave Ash any trouble, you know. I mean, I don't think Ash would. I'm not saying that the other Poke Girls did, but I don't know. I'm just saying. I think she just never gave him trouble, and that's why he's doing that. Or he feels as though like she's still new to all of this, because I think she still didn't. Was she barely entering her first try Pokemon at that time, or
uh,
no,
the
her
moment
second?
where they went clothes shopping was the Laver City arc. It was after Serena's first defeat, but before they ran into Miette again. So Serena had no princess keys at this point in time.
Oh, well, then you could use the excuse that he was being supportive, but I'm not going to use that. But I don't know. I just don't know why he had to change of heart.
You did bring up a good point that Serena is especially compared to her immediate predecessor Iris. Serena is much more quiet and reserved than the previous girls all were, especially with Ash. The times she's gotten even cross with him can be counted on one hand, and include times where she chastised him for gluttonously trying to eat the piece of chocolate cake that they were all going to have to share, and the time he jumped into a volcano and almost died.
Well,
So
well, yeah. I mean, like I'm pretty sure any friend would do that. I mean, your friend's about to die, or your crush is about to die as well. So yeah, you
but
make a good point there.
Serena is usually just like whenever Ash does something goofy, she usually
This,
like laughs at it, and apparently like I guess she thinks it's cute. Uh, in XY41, in XY42, as they're getting ready to leave summer camp, uh, after Tierno had been training Ash all night, Serena's like, Ash, you're really clumsy. And Ash is like, it'll be fine. And she like giggled and laughed at it. The only time she was even like amused in the following episode when Ash was showing off the rhythmic battle style to Corinna until Bonnie and Clement started laughing, and that's when Serena's mood changed to like, "Oh, come on, Ash is trying as hard as he can. You don't gotta laugh at him about that."
yeah, I was just about to say that too. Like that, like she was the only one that was trying to defend Ash. I mean, even Karina too. She was confused at what he was doing. But yeah, I love those kind of moments. You know, just them like not secretly supporting each other, but like it just goes to show that Serena genuinely cares about Ash. You know, like regardless if he's goofy or not, that's the same boy she met in the summer camp when they were kids. So
Yeah, regardless of how Ash is or how Ash changes, I don't think her view is going to change towards him.
yeah.
Uh, DJ, do you have anything on this?
I don't got much more to add really.
Okay. Well, I think another thing that we should talk about is her tripocolons, because so far we only had three, and if I'm correct, every tripocolon has a bit of a more shipping. So I kind of wanted to talk about that. So, Prim, if you, did somebody leave?
Uh,
Yeah, Edgar left.
well, the first Char Pokemon episode obviously has the ending scene where she puts on the ribbon and, oh, this is the ribbon you gave me, and he's like, oh, you're wearing it, thank you, or depending on your language of origin, oh, you're wearing it, looks great, or oh, it matches your eyes. It's beautiful. Thank you, the French.
Yeah.
Uh, anyone want to talk about that one a bit?
The ribbon?
Yeah, the whole ribbon reveal scene where Serena's new outfit and look have been revealed to the group.
Do you want to go first, Edgar or DJ, or do you guys want me?
Well, to be honest, I don't really have much to say about the blue ribbon, other than the fact that it's a gift from Ash, but I don't really think that it signifies anything quite significant. I don't know. It's just my opinion.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I mean, think about it. In the future, like if this
Well,
does, all right, go ahead.
like I said, I don't really have much to say, but you could go ahead and I'll see what could come up.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to disagree with you there because that blue ribbon, if Amore shipping doesn't become canon, then and she hasn't confessed yet. In the future, it's still a possibility. So she always have that ribbon to remember Ash, and we know for a fact that that relationship could either happen in the future. So that ribbon, in some sort of way, is keeping not this relationship going, but it's a strong reminder to Serena that there's a boy out there who really impacted her life for the better, and
Well, yeah.
yeah. So I think that ribbon plays a huge role in Amore shipping. Like I think it's the icon of it, if you will. But
Well,
well, go ahead. You're gonna say something.
well, I was just going to quickly say that I guess you could say that that ribbon is a reminder of. You could say that by the time she sets up on her own, like it's a reminder that Ash is always going to be with her and to never give up until the end.
Yeah. And then I mean I don't want to talk about the future of X and Y, but like
Yeah,
hopefully we do see like a scene like if they do depart ways, Serena's putting that ribbon in a special place, or she still wears it every day. So
yeah,
hopefully we get to see that. But yeah, I think that ribbon serves as a reminder to her to every day work her best, don't give up till it's over, as Ash said. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
yeah.
DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it there. And it's like earlier we were talking about it in the discussion. Like that ribbon really is like the embodiment of their relationship. So I think it's important just for that purpose alone. I think that the fact that she wears it all the time, we see it all the time. It really holds a lot of significance just for the fact that it's there.
Yeah. You Prim?
Uh, well, I don't want to bang on, I don't want to bang on about it or beat a dead horse or anything, but this is the first time, like, that one character has influenced another character's actual, like, outfit or design.
Yeah.
Um, like, we've had a bunch of characters change outfits over the years, Ash himself especially, changing outfits every time he goes to a different region, and Ash's mom, like, designs these clothes for him, and obviously she cares about him very much. The only other character who's had another character influence their design is Serena, and it's a gift from Ash that she wears front and center that is a reminder of how he has impacted her. So it's
Yeah,
hard
just
to it's hard to not talk about how important the ribbon is. It's sort of the it's like it's like the red scarf of Amore shipping.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the ribbon is pretty much like a major symbol in the more shipping.
Yeah. And just something else too. Talking about since we're talking about tripoclons here, my favorite kind of a more shipping moments are the ones that like when they really support each other. Not the moments where, like like I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great to see like flirting and then a possible hug, well, hand holding and all that. But I think my favorite more shipping hints are the ones where like the characters are helping each other out or like help each other out in a big way. Like Prim said before, Serena lost her first tripoclon, and you could tell that Serena was devastated, but she didn't want to show it. And Clement said that do you think Serena's gonna be okay? And then Ash says that don't she'll be fine. She's strong. Like it's just great to know that Ash thinks that way of Serena. And I think that just makes the ship even stronger because I don't think I'm not trying to like compare it to other ships, but I don't think that's ever happened before. So I
Well,
mean
every time May lost,
what?
not to say anything, but every time May lost, Ash either blamed himself, tried to cheer her up with either advice or ice cream. So
Yeah, but this was like a devastating loss because it was the first one. I mean, think about it. Like, she had no idea what to do, and then like keep in mind, like maybe Ash like knew as well. Like this is the first time she's trying something new, and she failed at it, and yet he still didn't go and cheer her up. Like she let her do it on her own because she knew she was strong. So it's just great to see that. I
Yeah,
hope there are more in the future. Not her crying. I'm just saying like more supportive moments like that.
yeah.
Well,
Sorry, and yeah,
go on,
and
go
I
on.
was I was about to say, Daniel, that you do bring a good point. Yeah, because compared with May's defeats in her Pokemon contest, Ash comforted her, like you said, by giving advice or cheering her up with ice cream. But with Serena, like Ash already gets a sense that she's strong. She has a strong character, and she just decided to let her deal with her loss by herself, and in hopes that she could probably learn from that. So, she I have a feeling that she does have faith in Serena in regards to her development overall.
You were
You
gonna
also
say,
have to kind of remember that Serena's technically speaking, the third rookie trainer that Ash has taken under his wing after both May and Dawn.
Hmm.
And while Ash went to support May after she lost and kind of blamed himself when she did lose, uh, they also went to Dawn when she lost, and when she cried, he and Brock were there with her. With Serena, he's actually treating her more like he himself wanted to be treated after he lost the Indigo League. You remember, after his defeat at the hands of Richie, he ends up going to the Indigo Stadium by himself and just kind of stands there. The scene is also kind of called back to after the Unova League in Best Wishes, where Ash goes back to the stadium by himself and stands there. And he needed both of those moments after he lost the Indigo League and the Unova League to return to recenter himself, to see how far he'd come, see just what he'd done, and to rededicate himself to becoming a Pokemon master. And when it came down to Serena dealing with her first defeat, rather than rushing to coddle her, he treated her like he treated himself. That she needs time to just absorb this and move on from it.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Hmm.
yeah.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
uh, BJ, have anything to say about this?
That it says a lot about how Ash thinks about Serena, that he knows that she can handle like sort of minor bump in the road by herself.
Yeah, I get what you mean. All right. So yeah, that was the first try Pokemon, and that was a lot to talk about. That's just how much the ship, like how big the ship is when it comes to hints, and then just talking about the support between these two characters. So, yeah. So moving on to the second try Pokemon, where she wins her first Princess Key. Um, your thoughts on this, Prim?
Wholly out of nowhere compliments, Batman. The end of the
Right?
episode, everyone likes to focus on Bonnie Knows, but the end of the episode is where the real gem is. Because we have Serena talking about how she tore her skirt and she needed to sew it back up. And she's like, oh, I better apologize to Valerie for ruining her gift. And then Ashley's like, it really looks good on you, Serena.
Yeah,
Raise your
just
hand if you saw that coming.
I don't know why it didn't like. Well, actually, it did. I mean, if I look back to my reactions, because I do the reactions to the episodes, but when I look back at that moment, I was just happy for the fact that she won. But when she said that, well, when Ash said that, what I was thinking like, well, that's something anybody would say, because she did actually look good in that. I mean, Clement did say in episode 7 when she wore her Rhyhorn Racing suit that it looked good on her. So when Ash said that,
Counterpoint.
well, go ahead.
Counterpoint. This is Ash freaking Ketchum. Ash, I don't know when girls are flirting with me, Ketchum. This is a guy who is, like, on TV tropes, he is the headlined, like, chaste hero. He's the no one thinks about Ash ever being romantic or romantically inclined at all. So for Ash to come out of nowhere with a "Hey Serena, the that Furisode looked really good on you," that was surprising.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if you look at it like that, yeah. I mean, I just figured that because I don't remember a lot of the episodes back then, but I figured like maybe one time he complimented one of the Pokey girls of what they were wearing, but I might be wrong. So there's
yeah.
that.
Just one of the few things that one of the few noticeable things in regards to Ash and within the XY series is that he tends to compliment a lot more than I think he did in the previous seasons, if I'm correct. But I don't know. I just think that Ash seems to compliment others in regards to how they look and whatnot. I mean, especially Serena, of course, when she tore up her well, when she
Her
fixed up
dress.
her
Yeah.
performance dress, yeah, and the time where it was in my head, but yeah, it's just something that's quite noticeable from Ash in the X and Y series, if you ask me. But I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not sure if he's ever complimented this much compared to the previous season.
Yeah. And then one final thing before I let you DJ give your opinion on this is that how Mieti said at the end that see you next time or something like that. So I don't know if that's a confirmation that we will see her again. I mean no, I mean I don't see why she shouldn't return. You know, I mean she's a great rival to Serena. So hopefully
I
this isn't
feel
the last
like
time we see of
it's
Mieti.
almost like sure thing that she's gonna come back.
Yeah, I was just. I mean,
That's
we only seen two. To be fair, we only seen two episodes of her, so I don't know. I mean, X and Y Z is focusing a lot on the Team Flare arc, but put Mieti there for no absolute reason. Yeah,
we have
that's all I
two
gotta say.
years. We'll have time for more Miet episodes.
Please, yeah. All right, your
Yes.
opinions on this, DJ?
Oh yeah. I don't really have much else to say on it. I think just the fact alone, like Ash saying it, is good enough on its own. I think the fact that it was unsolicited, which just it made it even better of a moment, more surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was getting more shipping hint.
indeed it was. That blush. All right, so moving on to her latest Tri Pokemon, the third one. Your thoughts on this, Prim?
Lots of people make jokes about this is how their marriage is going to go because Serena's about to go on stage and Ash is like, "Serena, I lost the baby."
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Um,
I mean, I don't want to like
uh,
just. Oh, go ahead.
well, I mean, there's nothing like the focus is more on Eevee in this episode than it is on Serena. I would even
Yeah,
say. So there's
Yeah,
not really a lot of the big and more shipping moment for this one was actually the episode before where Shauna comes out of left field with her. That's why you like him, right?
yeah,
This is actually the episode that's going to, as at the time of recording, this is actually the third showcase episode. Is actually the one that's going to air on Cartoon Network on Saturday. So I don't know how fast you all put these videos up or how long the editing is going to take, but if you all want to see the showcase for yourself in the dub and you don't watch the subs,
yeah,
yeah. Just
but
wait for them. Yeah, but like something that I did want to say is that, you know, I don't know. I don't think it was necessary to have Eevee as like the problem for that tri Pokemon. I mean, I know it was our first tri Pokemon. Okay, we all thought for a fact. I thought, for the most part, that Eevee was going to perform in this tri Pokemon. I said it in one of my previous discussions. I was wrong about that, obviously, and but like I don't know. I mean, this was an episode about Serena. I don't think they focused that well. Yeah, they focused a good amount on Serena, but they could have focused more instead of focusing on Eevee. I don't know why. I mean, I just didn't feel like it was necessary for Eevee to
the writers didn't even make us watch Jesse's performance out there, they, and instead
yeah.
we're just getting more screen time for Evie.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
kidding.
we
I feel like
they could have utilized that time for more shipping hints. I'm not saying like every tri Pokemon is required to have a more shipping hint, but I don't know, like they could have done something else, other than that. But you were gonna say something, Prim?
well, late in the episode, Ash did say your dancing was nice, but that just kind of there was a lot going on at the end of the episode, so it was just kind of shuffled in there with everything else.
Yeah,
ultimately, the episode was more about Eevee and building Eevee up. I feel like Eevee may be Serena's last capture in the XY series, thinking about how they're building up Eevee's character arc.
Yeah.
She could
Yeah.
capture something else later on, but I feel like they're definitely building up Serena's eventual Sylveon as kind of her ace Pokemon. Like, you have her partner breaks in, you have Pancham who's really gung ho about it, but I feel like Sylveon is what's going to set her over the top and what's going to give her the best chance of winning the Masterclass.
Yeah, that could probably
Yeah.
be a different discussion.
I mean, didn't
Yeah.
Arya only have 3 Pokemon as well?
She
No,
only has
just
two.
two,
She
as
only
far
has
as we
two?
know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
two.
yeah. DJ.
Delpha
Uh,
and Aromatisse.
yeah,
Okay.
DJ. Your thoughts on the third Tripokemon?
Yeah, there wasn't really much to it. It's almost like the Tripokon itself kind of took a backseat to all the events going on. I felt like the whole situation with Eevee was kind of, it was blown out in proportion more than it really should have been. But yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
I
liked
think that
it.
so I think that wraps up about well, for the most part Tripokalons until I think we have to wait 3 more weeks until the next Tripokalon, or fourth.
Yeah,
Well,
on the 17th of December, we'll have the fourth Tripokemon.
So
and you
that's gonna
can
be in about 2 weeks.
yep. And
As
you
of
could
right now.
you guys could bet that we're gonna do a discussion on that. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that wraps up about Tripokemon. Anything else that you guys wanted to talk about? More shipping in general? Your thoughts and opinions on it?
Nope.
Or is there,
It's great.
Uh,
yeah,
Yes, it's
it's just great. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. End of the discussion. It's
I
just great,
would,
Just
guys.
edit
I
out
would,
the rest of it. Just leave it. It's great. That's
You
all I'm
guys heard
saying.
it here. All right.
Prim, you were gonna
I
say
have some
something?
closing words, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
In the beginning of the XY series, we really didn't know what was going to happen with the teased Ash Serena relationship. We heard about it from before the series began, and we'll probably be talking about it after the series ends, even. It has a lot of potential to grow not just Serena's character, but Ash's character in ways that his character hasn't been pushed or grown before. We've seen hints of this in what we've seen in the past so far. And I don't want to talk too much about the future because, as I'm aware, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But even if you had asked me in July of 2013, when Best Wishes was still ending, and we didn't know anything about Serena or her characters, if you had told me that they were going to introduce a character, that they were going to have her have real, observable feelings for Ash, that this is going to be a major theme in the upcoming series, and that it would be pushed more than any other Ash character relationship in the show, I wouldn't have believed you. I
Yeah.
feel like everything happens for a reason. And I suppose I want to close on this. Clearly, that they've had big plans for the XY series since they were initially starting to plan it. Some of these things we're only starting now to see the payoff for. Clearly, Serena's feelings for Ash were something that they planned well ahead of time to implement in the series. And you can tell that they have kind of a long scope of what they plan on doing. And I will end on this. At the end of the Best Wishes series, Ash's hairstyle was exactly how it was throughout the original series, the Advanced Generation series, and the Diamond and Pearl series. However, when the XY series started, Ash has new sideburns. Now, these sideburns just look cool, in my opinion, but much later on, when we saw the reveal of Ash Greninja, we can see that this character detail was planned from the beginning in order to better parallel Ash with Greninja's super form, its Ash Greninja form. That's something that they had to plan all the way back when they were drawing character sheets for the XY series that wouldn't be revealed until over 2 years later. So I think that there is still much more we have to see because much more has already been planned.
Yeah, well, we're just gonna have to wait and see
Yeah, that's a
what
great
the
way to
writers have in
close.
store for us.
Yeah, that's a great way to close off, Prim. Like right now, I felt as though somebody was like I felt as though somebody important was talking to me for a second. Like somebody
Somebody
was
just
preaching.
exploded
Yeah,
with all
like
that
that that
knowledge.
that that was so deep. Like I cannot tell you how deep that was. Holy crap! All
Well,
right.
thank you for inviting me to this discussion.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
uh,
actually, before we end off here, Edgar, you gonna say something?
well, yeah, I was going to say before we end the discussion, just very quickly, just a fun question. What's your favorite Amourshipping hint so
Yeah,
far?
that was actually what I was gonna say. So
All
basically,
right
to
then.
end off this discussion, I want to ask each and every one of you, what is your favorite Amourshipping hint? I'll put it in the templates right now. But yeah, we'll start off, Edgar, since you're the one that started off this question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my favorite Amourshipping hint so far would have to be during the summer camp arc where Ash and Serena had their talk
All
on
right.
episode 40. So yeah, that's my favorite Amourshipping episode.
What about you, DJ?
Honestly, like it changes over time. But I feel like just thinking about it right now, something that always comes to my mind is just episode 7, where it all started, the flashback at the original camp. Yeah, I think just the whole thing's just sweet. I really like it.
And Prim, your moment.
Episode 23, where they high five when the fishing rods. No,
I
no,
was about to say like Prim. Wait, did she leave already? Is this her
no.
twin sister
My
talking?
Soiled it.
favorite,
Soiled it.
my favorite is the ending of XY59 when Ash gives Serena the gift, because there is so much to talk about there, so much meaning piled upon meaning, so much. There's a lot there to talk about, and the ability to just go back to this scene and talk about it again and again and see all the different angles to analyze it from. That's what makes it my favorite.
And that's gonna go the same for me. I mean, I was gonna originally say it was gonna be the one where Serena lost that tri Pokemon and Ash said that she's strong. But like if we're talking about like, my most favorite episode when it comes to Amourshipping, it's gonna have to be that one too. I mean, dude, it's a date episode. That's what they stated. So but like Prim said, everything about it was just great. Like I said before, they could have added some things, but overall, I think it was a nice episode between the two characters, and that's when we were introduced to the ribbon. So that was the start of something that's gonna impact Serena for the rest of her life. That ribbon. So yeah, that's my favorite hint as well. Well, my favorite episode.
All
Oh
right.
well, when it comes to more shipping. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Any final thoughts, guys? More
Thank you
shipping.
very much for having me.
It's been
All
a good
right.
discussion.
More shipping for the win. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this 1 hour and 50-minute or 2 hour discussion. This has been Take a Step Away from Tumblr here, and today with me, helping me out with this discussion is...
Thanks for watching, guys. I've been DjSockPuppet. See you another time.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I've personally enjoyed the discussion, and hopefully you guys as well. My name is Alpha Eevee. Thanks again for watching.
And Prim.
Thank you for watching this video, everyone. I'm Purim, and until next time, catch more Pokemon.
Yeah. Everybody's Twitters and Tumblrs will be linked at the bottom below, so if you guys want to, talk about Amourshipping with them, go right ahead. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in whatever video I make next. See ya!
Adios.